Good evening and welcome to the Village of Westmont Committee, the whole meeting for February 17, 2011. I'd like to have our clerk begin by taking the roll call.
Mayor Rond.
Here.
The clerk's here. Trustee Emery.
Here.
Trustee Fleming.
Here.
Trustee Forsley.
Here.
Trustee Klebanow.
Here.
Trustee Scott.
Here.
Trustee Seneca.
Here.
Manager Searle.
Here.
And the beautiful attorney Perez.
Here.
Public Works Director May.
Here.
The Police Chief Mulhern. Here. Deputy Fire Chief Connolly. I thought I saw him.
Look at this.
No. Sorry, Deputy Fire Chief Weiss is here. Interim Finance Director Matthijs. Budget Analyst Parker. Deputy Police Chief Brenza.
Thank you. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First item before us are the minutes of the committee, the whole meeting held February 3rd and board meeting held February 7th, 2011. Any corrections to be reported to the clerk at this time? Hearing no corrections, moving forward. We have two open forum requests before us this evening. And the first one is from Bob Plowman and Bob Mackert.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Village Board. My name is Robert Plowman. Really pleased to have these few minutes to introduce myself and the village, or the program that we're part of. We are part of the Progressive Village Performance Network, also known as PVPN. And basically, we are a performing arts organization. And how we got our name is, well, it's no secret, Progressive Village, obviously. But the performance is we wanted to make sure that our scope encompassed all art forms, be it music, poetry, theater, singing. So we wanted to make sure that we left ourselves open for all media of performing arts. The network came in as being a network of other organizations, such as the Park District and the Westmont Special Events Committee and the community theaters, both to the east and the west of us, the high school. We've been pulling talent from the high school as well. Our motto, the Progressive Village Performance Network, we are an organization whose mission it is to inspire, nurture, challenge, amaze, educate, empower artists and audiences in order to artistically enhance our village through the diverse access and a variety of participation opportunities. We're an association of amateur artists whose intent it is to support all aspects of the performing arts, including dance, music, poetry, as well as theater. Our board members, myself being president, Sally Casaro is vice president, Steve Golombuski is our Westmont Park District liaison and treasurer, Bob Mackert, public relations, who else? Scott Lyons, young man, just graduated from Westmont High School, who's now in Columbia doing a film, so he's our executive producer in tech. And Linda Swearingen, who has a few children that goes to school here in Westmont. And I always see her tinkering around with all of the musical and play productions, so I kind of nabbed her to help us out. Our history, I've been a resident now for 14 years. For half of my life, I've been part of the theatrical experiences, whether it be in high school and Park District kind of events. And then I took a 20-year vacation where I got married and had a couple of kids. And then about 8 years ago, I was looking through the paper, and Grove Players had a open audition call, and so the acting bug bit again. And so I was with them, still a member of Grove Players, but we had a couple of members that went to LaGrange and started a group in LaGrange. They asked me to come there. So we started. The gentleman who ran that ended up moving, threw us the keys and said, do something with it. And basically, I knew I didn't really want to stay in LaGrange. So I was pulling all the resources from this village to help us out in LaGrange. So I said, what better than to try to bring it here to Westmont? So I had notified Steve Golombewski at the Park District, and they bit hook, line, and sinker, and the rest is history. So basically, we were supposed to start this summer, and I guess there was a slot open last summer in the concerts in the park. So Steve said, can you whip something together for us for something in the park? So we threw out just kind of a stray audition notice, and we received probably over about 45 people that showed up to audition, which is probably more than I have seen in any of the organizations that I've been involved with as far as auditioning. People 7 years old who've been acting since they've been out of the womb, and people 70 years old who've never even played a tree in a school play. So it was really kind of rewarding to see the experience of even the older folks who've never been on stage before get such gratification at the applause during the curtain call. So it was really rewarding for all of us. Our season, actually, like I said, began last year. We are currently hosting classes, acting and improv, through the Westmont Park District. We were part of the Taste of Westmont. We emceed the main stage as well as held the Gilligan's Island trivia show. We were zombies and goblins for the Haunted Forest. And just recently, we had a very rewarding experience as well. We did a radio version of the Christmas Carol for the Westmont Park District. So it was kind of like a live radio 1940s version, so with sound effects and everything else. So it was really a lot of fun. Our 2011 season, we're going to begin with Our Town. That's kind of appropriate. Auditions will be in mid-March, so I would ask everybody to kind of take a look at our website, which I'll give you here in just a moment. Our performances will be the weekend of June 10th, 11th, and 12th. Our second venture is The Guys. The Guys is a play about in remembrance of the people that lost their lives in September 11th. And basically what we're doing is we're going to do a tribute to those that lost their lives, and we've also contacted the Westmont Police Department, Westmont Fire Department, and we're willing to go ahead, and all the profits from all three of those shows will be given to those departments to give to charity. So, and of course that will be on the weekend of September 11th. I believe that's 9th, 10th, and 11th. I think 11th is on a Sunday. And then, backed by popular demand, we're going to do the Park District performances in the park again. We're hoping to have kind of a Ravinia setting. That kind of happened by accident. People brought their blankets and their picnic baskets and stuff, so it was kind of cool down there by the gazebo. Auditions for the park performances will be June 26th and 27th, and performances I think are in mid-August. We're also doing classes again. We'll be part of the Halloween Taste of Westmont we're looking forward to, and we'll do a new Christmas radio production as well, because that went over very well. Support needed. Actually, we just need word of mouth. We need to get the word out there. Our website is www.pvpn.weebly, that's WEEBLY.com. And our email is pvpn2010@gmail.com. We would also like to just be welcome to the village and the chamber as a business entity and a partner. And we also, at this point, we're needing assistance in finding viable venues. So if anybody has any ideas of where a performance space would be, we would be open to look at that as well. Like I said, we've been very successful so far, and our official startup hasn't even begun yet. And I can only think that this next season will be just or more successful. And Bob, who's been part of our program, new to the whole acting and performance arts, you want to say a couple of words of your experience? Or?
Well, I got, I tried out for the Christmas Carol and landed a small role, actually 2 small roles. And it was a great opportunity to be able to perform. Never done it my whole life before, but perform with professionals as well as newbies like myself. So it was a great opportunity. I encourage Westmont residents to be a part of this because it can be a lot of fun and, you know, and challenging at the same time.
Excellent.
Thank you
Great
very
group.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank both of you for coming in, and Bob, it's real nice to see you. I haven't seen you in quite a while.
See you guys too. Thank you.
Thank you. The next open forum request is from Bill Price at the previous owner, the now closed Bailey's Restaurant at 330 East Ogden Avenue.
Good evening, Mayor. I'm sorry. Good evening, Mayor and village board members. I'm requesting a partial refund of the $3,000 liquor license for 2011, which we used for only 3 weeks until my restaurant closed on January 19th due to extreme economic conditions. I feel we've been an outstanding business citizen of Westmont for our 22 years and have enjoyed a cordial relationship with the village. Thank you for the many visits you and the village staff made to support Bailey's, and I hope you consider it favorably.
I believe the staff, police deputy liquor commissioner, the staff has been in contact with you and have mentioned that we have nothing in our code that permits us to return money from a refund for a liquor license that's only been used for a short period of time. And our attorney this evening is looking at the statutes, but that is something that we have not done before, and I can ask the clerk. I don't think we've ever, to your knowledge, have ever done that before. No. So if we were to do something like that, it would, I'm not sure what it would entail legally.
Well, we'd have to do a text amendment to our code first
Okay.
to allow that.
And the recommendation of staff to this point has been not to offer a refund for a partial refund on your liquor license. However, there's nothing that says we cannot go back and look at that and have staff re-look at it and find out if that's a possibility. But it's something that we've never done before, and the attorney is not recommending that we do that. Mm-hmm. But we can check. I will check further with our attorneys and find out if there's any recommendation, if there's anything we can do in your particular situation regarding this request.
How long have you been in town? How long was the
22 years.
Wow.
Made a lot of friends, a lot of regular customers, and unfortunately the economic conditions are such that I couldn't support it any longer, and I would just like to make one more statement that it's going to be remodeled again as a restaurant, and the new owners are going to pay another $18,000 to come in and operate with a license for the year 2011, and so it kind of makes up for whatever refund you will allow me.
Okay. We will have the attorneys look it over, and we will get back to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for
very
your
much
time.
for coming in.
Thank you. If we could do it, I'd like to.
Those are the only open forum requests that we have. Moving right along, reports, the mayor. We have a conflict at our meeting, which is going to be this coming Tuesday instead of Monday because of President's Day, and that is that School District 201 has scheduled the same night to be here for a meeting. So they are in the process of looking for another location to hold their meeting next Tuesday evening. And I would imagine that they will try to communicate that out with our assistance as soon as the new location for their board meeting is determined. The next thing that I would like to make mention of is a very special reclamation this evening for the Westmont Lions Club that I happen to be a member of, and we've got a
Couple of us.
couple other members on the board, young ladies who are also members of the Lions Club, so it is by no means an exclusive men's club. Our president is also a beautiful young lady, so we represent both sexes very well.
Wait a minute. Chris is our president. Chris,
Oh,
you're
I'm
beautiful.
sorry, you were president last year. Sorry, Chris.
But he is cute.
You gotta cut your hair a little bit shorter, buddy. Anyhow, the Lions Club has been in the Village of Westmont. It's our oldest service club. And I'll get into the statistics here in just one moment. However, it gives me great honor and pleasure to be able to present this proclamation, which, by the way, is not framed, but I will get it framed, and I would like to also present it on Saturday evening at the 75th anniversary dinner, celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Westmont Lions Club. And at this time, I would like to read the proclamation. 2011 proclaimed Year of the Lions in honor of the Westmont Lions Club 75th anniversary. Whereas the Westmont Lions Club is the oldest service club organization in the Village of Westmont, starting on January 8th, 1936. Were you a member back then, Bill?
No.
All right.
I'll mark this one down.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna be heavily fined at the next meeting.
Bill was not a member
But he
unless
is-
the Lions had received an application from it.
But anyhow, he's often referred to as the most senior member currently in our Westmont Lions Club. And whereas the Westmont Lions Club is an organization that raises money to support people who are hearing and sight impaired. And whereas the Westmont Lions Club raises money to provide assistance for people who are economically challenged and in need of visual and hearing exams, as well as support services such as glasses and hearing aids to ensure a better quality of life. And whereas the Westmont Lions Club assists approximately 40 Westmont residents annually regarding their sight and hearing needs. And whereas the Westmont Lions Club has been involved in the support of numerous community events over the years, including the Taste of Westmont, Powwow Days, Westmont Spring Carnival, Westmont Oktoberfest, the Red and White Barbecue Festival, the Race to the Flag 5K, and many more activities. And whereas the Westmont Lions Club supports area youth through involvement with programs in Westmont schools, support of Little League sports, as well as coordinates and facilitates scholarship programs. And I should mention that this is incorrect here. It's not only scholarships to Westmont High School students, but also Downers Grove High Schools and Hinsdale High Schools have also been awarded and are encouraged to apply for these scholarships on an annual basis. And whereas the Westmont Lions Club is celebrating their 75th anniversary in 2011. Now therefore be it resolved by the virtue of the authority invested in me as mayor of the Village of Westmont do hereby proclaim the calendar year of 2011 as the Year of the Lions in honor of the Westmont Lions Club's 75th anniversary. On behalf of the Village of Westmont, I want to congratulate the Westmont Lions Club and thank them for all they do and will continue to do to benefit our fine community. Congratulations to all.
We get a group picture of everybody with the mayor, if that's all right?
Can we get little lion Rachel in this picture? In her lion's outfit? Oh yeah, let's go. Oh, we're lions. Come on.
Yeah, don't stand in front of our new recycling dumpster.
No. How are you, Bill? How are you? Hey, David, you're blocking my view.
Yeah, keep going.
Original place.
If we just lean in right, we'll be.
You feeling okay? You look good. You look good, though.
All right. Mr. Seneca's hiding back there. Can we
Leave him back there, please.
We're gonna take a couple of these. Ready? That was one. Oh, lions. Okay. On the count of three, lions. 1, 2, 3. Lions. Gotcha. Thank you.
Look like a real lion.
She got this at one of the conventions.
Okay.
Oh, it was at an auction.
That's great. Did you get that here?
She was supposed to be here.
Yeah, we did.
I figure if it wasn't going to be Saturday, I'd better be here tonight.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we can ask him that if something.
You need us
You know?
anymore?
We always need you.
Underlay.
Compared to around him.
You don't have to stay.
She is the cutest thing.
Isn't she darling?
On Monday, we will have the presentation by Chief Trout for the Firefighter of the Year Award. Not
It's
Monday,
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Thank you. That's all that I have right now. Moving right along, our village clerk.
Well, the good news is I just checked with the Public Works Director, and the drop box is back. So people can put their bills back into the drop box. You would not believe how many people would come in and say to us daily, "Did you know the drop box isn't there?" Anyway, it's there, everyone, so you can put your bills in it. And happy birthday, Trustee Club now. It's a day late.
Oh, happy
Oh, happy
birthday.
birthday.
And then to somebody out there that might be watching us, whose birthday is tomorrow, that worked with us many years, Nancy Martins.
Oh, that's right, tomorrow.
That's right. Happy birthday to her, too. That's all I have, Mayor. Thanks.
Very good, thank you. Our village attorney,
I don't have any report, thank you.
Ron Searle, village manager.
Thank you. I passed out a finance ordinance supplemental purchase order list in the amount of $51,488 that I would ask to add to the agenda for Tuesday. Just wanted to point out that one of the purchase orders on there is also appears on the finance ordinance. That's in the amount of $7,000 to Armor Plate, Inc., and that has to do with the punch list for the residents of Oak Brook Hills. And then the other three purchase orders, one of them actually is a replacement of a previously approved purchase order that we commented on back in December. It was approved December 6th for Black Box Network Services, that we were going to be pricing the wireless system for our dispatch consolidation, and that we might substitute for that purchase order. So that's one of the three, and the other two relate to the consolidation effort. just ask permission to add that to the agenda for Tuesday. And that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you. Trustee items. I'd like to begin with Trustee Seneca.
Thank you. I would just like to...
Or should I say Lion Seneca?
Yes.
Yeah, I
This
am.
evening.
Just, again, congratulations to my fellow Lions. I'm very proud to be a member of that fine organization. And everybody, just kind of keep in mind when they're out there on Candy Day or you see them around, just kind of say thank you. Not speaking for myself, but all of those people out there work really, really hard, and it's very much appreciated. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is tomorrow night at Westmont High School, the Boosters are hosting a fundraiser spaghetti dinner. Starts at 4:30. So come out and have a great dinner, support the Boosters, and then stay for the JV and the varsity basketball game. A great Friday night in Westmont. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Scott.
Just want to announce that Roger Westman is now home and doing his rehabilitation there. So it's nice to see him finally get out of the nursing home and back into his own home.
Our Energizer Bunny.
And that's it, sir.
Thank you. Trustee Klebanow.
Just to remind everyone that Tuesday, February 22nd at 6 o'clock, we have the Public Information Committee meeting right here in our room, and hopefully everybody can make it. See you all at the committee meeting, I hope.
Okay.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Emery.
Did you say, I didn't hear you. Okay. First of all, I'd like to request a short executive session for personnel following the regular meeting. And I'm very excited between the 75th anniversary Lions Club banquet that's Saturday and the Progressive Village Performance Network that Trustee Seneca will be doing an interpretive dance of the 2012 budget for us.
They weren't supposed to know that. You didn't hear it. That's a surprise.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Fleming.
Nothing this evening, thank you.
And
there's going to be a payback.
Before
just a couple things. Congratulations to the Lions Club. They've helped out the school district tremendously with our students and the glasses. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to the girls basketball team who unfortunately were defeated last Monday by Bishop McNamara, who took 4th last year in state. So they lost to a good team. But if you've seen them play, they gave a lot of enjoyment. They've won over 50 games in the last 2 years. So congratulations to them. And then sympathies to the Baker family. And Jay Baker is from the first graduating class and one of my students back then. And his wife passed away. I didn't know her as well, but we went to the wake, and it was just a pouring out of people. It took an hour just to get in, and turned out she was so active in the school system at Marker. So I wanted to extend the sympathies because the kids at Marker School knew her. I guess she was a secretary there, and he had all the cards. It was very sad, and sympathies to the family. And they've, like I said, lived in Westmont for a long time.
Oh, okay.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. First item, road closures and waiver request for 2011 Westmont Red, White, and Barbecue Festival. Or to consider the following requests from the Westmont Lions Club in regard to their Red, White, and Barbecue event. First item, close Plaza Drive from Burr Oak to Black Hawk Drive on Wednesday, May 25th, and reopen on Monday, May 30th. Egress for local business traffic for businesses on Plaza Drive between Burr Oak and Black Hawk will be permitted from the intersection of Plaza and Burr Oak. Request to approve a liquor license fee waiver for the event. Request to approve amusement license fee waiver for the event. And a request to approve live amplified sound waiver during event hours.
Well, Lion Mayor and trustees, as you all know, the not the 75th, that's Saturday. The Red, White, and Barbecue is May 27th through the 29th of this year. It is our 5th year, and I've seen everybody really in this room there, and as you all know, it grows every single year, and we're expecting 2011 to be no exception. We're in the process of lining up all our entertainment. Our food vendors are already locked in. We have some of the best professional barbecue companies that are going to be out there serving barbecue this year. And it's just going to be just another good time, another fantastic event for the village of Westmont. If I can answer any of your questions, I would be glad to.
How many have we got coming out this year?
How many?
Vendors.
Vendors, we limit it to 6 maximum because of space requirement.
Okay, and participants?
Participants are starting to come in. We're anticipating right now somewhere between 60 and 70. The very first one in is all the way from Boulder, Colorado. So the barbecue has spread across the country now, and it's getting big.
And were there any issues that happened last year that we should be aware of and corrections that could be taken if there were?
I don't think there were any specific issues that happened. I mean...
Okay, just want to make sure.
Any other questions?
This was far too easy.
For coming in, President Chris.
Thank you. And we'll see.
Still beautiful.
I believe we'll see most of you on Saturday evening.
Yes, we will
All right.
see you there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh-oh.
Next item, award a bid proposal. Board to consider awarding the bid proposal from Central Blacktop Incorporated for the 2011 MFT Emergency Repair Program resurfacing project.
Thank you, Mayor. The MFT program is our annual street resurfacing project that we fund with motor fuel taxes, is what the acronym stands for. It is an annual program, and this is not, individual projects or road reconstruction. This is where we do the general resurfacing of multiple streets throughout the town. This project will cover more than 2 miles of roadways throughout the community. And on January 27th, we accepted bids for this project, and 8 contractors bid on the work. The low bidder was Central Blacktop at $598,070.85, which is approximately 12% below what the engineer's estimate was. The bid tab is also attached for your reference. So there were all 8 bids were very good, and we have a recommendation, or asking a recommendation of you to award this contract to Central Blacktop for the construction project. If I can, because it's related to the same project, I'm going to introduce the next item too. When we have a larger project like a reconstruction, you typically see engineering services, both in engineering design and then a construction engineering for the inspection services. The street resurfacing we all do in-house because there's not a full set of plans required. It's actually considered a maintenance project. And also the construction inspection is done in-house. Noriel takes care of all of that. The only things we cannot do are the physical material testing that requires certain laboratory services that are done. So the second item is for the material testing and inspection services from CECO Consultants, and their estimate, their proposal is for $9,763 just for the material testing portion. Did you have any questions about the project? We haven't had one, a general resurface. I called it annual, but we haven't done it for a couple of years due to funding. And motor fuel tax is also used a lot for our co-payment, like when we have grant funds and to do our participation, we use motor fuel taxes as well. So we're eager to get back to it.
There's a question on the first one on the award. When we do this, how far are they just resurfacing? Are they disturbing? Are they taking up or grinding? Does this include?
The resurfacing very generally is approximately grinding off the top 3 inches of asphalt and replacing it.
Okay.
So there's little minor adjustments with manholes or some, patching. If there's base failure, we do patching and some curb work too.
Okay. So this includes them hauling away what they ground, or do we keep?
Yes. Well, it's all recyclable material, so they take all the asphalt back. It's kind of built into the contract, and then they can reuse it.
Okay.
It's built into the cost.
Just want to make sure if it was just grinding or if we were actually going deeper.
No.
Thank you.
Steve, we've used Central before, right?
We have. It's been some time, but they have worked in town a lot.
I was just wondering, I mean, the next lowest bid was $8,000, and then after that, there were $50,000, $60,000 higher. It's a huge difference. I just wondering why, if there's we're pleased,
Yeah, actually, we do get, often a bigger spread than this. The
Really?
second low bidder is also a bigger company. There's a couple things that work into play on how well the bids come in. The bigger the organization and the more competitive they can be, how many bidders we have. When they take out plans and specs, when they know they're only one of like 2 or 3 bidders, they, you know, they don't tend to come in as nice. And similarly, it has a lot to do with their workload. You know, we specifically do our bid after the state bid, you know, the IDOT bids and stuff like that. So everybody that didn't win enough work are eager, you know, you would call it buying work, you know, so you get better prices when you do that too.
Okay. But yeah, we've used them. I thought I've seen them before.
The second low bidder was the one that had our last project the last time we did it.
Any question on either one of those items, 3 or 4?
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. We have a request to pull the next 2 items, 5 and 6, from the agenda, and they will be back on our agenda at the next committee, the whole meeting on March 3rd. And the next item is the solid waste contract. Board to consider extending the village's residential, commercial, and institutional solid waste services franchise agreement with Waste Management Incorporated.
This is an item that's been brought up before to the village board. We have a representative here from Waste Management, Jim Carl. We've had a couple of discussions at a couple of different committee meetings, most recently at the Public Works Committee meeting. And we are bringing forth a recommendation from that committee to extend the contract for 3 years to maintain the current residential service at 2 cans bags per week. Continue the free recycling with a 96, I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice, 96-gallon cart system. And we brought 2 different size carts for the board to look at this evening. And the one significant change would be that recycling would be every other week. And then everything else essentially in the contract stays the same. And at this point, I'll turn it over to Mr. Carls and let him.
First of all, I would just like to thank the board and the mayor for their confidence in Waste Management for allowing us to continually service the community here, hopefully. And what I like to do basically is, I mean, questions obviously, but what we have here, like Mr. Searle mentioned, there's the original, or what the current service is, the 18-gallon bin. Can I leave this? Or sure. 18-gallon bin, which is currently being utilized today. And the proposal includes the 96-gallon cart. This is a 96-gallon cart. And this would be utilized and picked up and serviced every other week. When we initiate programs from past experience, we're averaging, and I did look into this a little bit, we're averaging 30 to 40% increase in tonnage of recyclables by going to a larger container. It's just a natural thing to do, and people just seem to recycle more. So, yeah, so that's the cart. Just to mention, that will be the basic cart that will be distributed and offered to all the residents. Certainly there's going to be some exceptions for whatever reason, maybe townhomes or some of the elderly folks that won't utilize or don't need a larger cart, and they don't want a larger cart. Certainly we'll make that option available to them, and hopefully we can give them, say, a 90-day period on there where they can make an exchange or this type of thing. So that is available. The rates also, as you see, and I think I don't know if you've got option 2. This was the option that was basically your consensus to take. Those rates basically do not, and I didn't put in there, off of those rates, there is still the 25% senior citizen discount on that. So I didn't include that in there, so that's applicable to that service. And I just wanted to mention, the chief was over here briefly. Some of the other things we'd like to implement with the new 3-year contract extension would be a Waste Watch program, which hopefully I'll be able to discuss with the chief. Basically, to summarize the program, our drivers would go through a training program, and they have to pass a test. And by doing this in conjunction with the police department, They act as additional eyes and ears for the police department. They learn how to properly observe and how to properly report, and that's all their function is. They just observe and report when needed, and that would be in conjunction with the police department. And a lot of times, you know, everything is stressed right now, and our guys are out there, and they know how the neighborhood should look, what should be happening, and this is where they become a key role. In addition to that, we are going to continue the commercial recycling program, which we implemented. I think Larry's gone. And also, we're kicking off a big commercial recycling contest, which you're aware of, I'm sure. But we're offering the free service for all the commercial establishments and a container throughout the contract period here. So to try to get that going and to support and hopefully achieve the 40% recycling number the county wants to achieve. So if there's any questions, I don't know if there's any additional questions. I think we've talked about this quite a bit from various meetings. I don't know what else. If there's still something that you're not sure of, certainly I'm available here for any questions.
Jim, just a quick question on the 64. Is that a 60?
Yes, that's a 64.
If, you know, you mentioned about the townhomes, if someone were to take the 64 as opposed to the 96, and during one pickup had way too much, would you take a second bin? Would they pick up?
Sure, they can.
On occasion?
Oh, sure, sure. Let's put it this way. You may get somebody actually that doesn't want a cart.
Yeah.
Okay, if they want to stay with their current bin, they can.
So they'll take more than
But just keep in mind, it's going to be an every other week service, and that's what it would be. It's just a matter of choice, like I say, and from experience, it's just we would recommend the 96-gallon cart. An important thing to remember too, which was kind of up in the air, which I didn't mention, is the service points right now will stay at the same point. If the residence is being serviced in the alley, the recyclables will be picked up in the alley. If they're serviced at the curb, the carts will be at the curb. So there's no switching around or this type of thing. So, and we would kick off the program. We send out a calendar. We kind of use a green and a gold week for the first, you know, and everybody gets into it, you know, it's not a big deal, but if you're on the green week or the gold week, every other week for the recyclables only. Obviously, the trash gets picked up weekly. That's not a problem. So.
Great.
But, that would be about it. I don't know if there's anything else.
Just
That's great.
to state the obvious, I think, when I first saw it, I said the 64.
You thought it was quite large.
Yes, but to state the obvious, you said the green one here is 18.
Yes.
And we've got two of those. It's 36.
Okay, there you go.
And in 2 weeks, you're at 72 already. So if you're filling up two green ones already,
yes,
and you need the big one.
You need the big one. I mean, that's really.
The 18-gallon bin too, you know, basically. So.
Yeah. So I mean, although it looks large, you will fill it. If you're filling the green one,
sure.
2 of them every week, you definitely want the 96.
Sure.
Because we're way over. We're always putting, you know, a cardboard box with more paper in it and all that.
And I think you've got, you know, 2 weeks, you've got a tax relief.
That is nice.
One less thing to blow around our neighborhood.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank
Could you explain again how people are going to determine when they're recycled?
They'll usually,
Are going to be picked
we'll print up a little calendar, Mayor, a calendar. And on the calendar, it'll be a green, gold, green week or gold week, something to that effect.
Okay.
And that's the other week. So if you're on the green week, you'll look at the calendar and you'll know, what it is. Usually, one calendar is sufficient. Everybody gets into the swing of it. You know, it doesn't take long. It really doesn't take long.
While you're at it, could you also kind of give the public a little bit of knowledge? There's going to be, I think it's 2 new solar-type operated.
Oh, I didn't mention that. Okay. Yeah, we have a solar-powered compactor, which is about the size of a 30-gallon normal trash basket out in the field that you may use. And this solar-powered compactor holds about 5 to 6 times. It holds about 150 to 180 gallons of trash. I think you did see it at the Illinois Municipal League. And we're going to give the village some of these to place it. The nice part about it, they can be used seasonally at event items, high traffic areas. That's where it really works well. And so it cuts down the time for Public Works servicing these things and back and forth and all that stuff. So these will be included. And then also, there's some potential advertising revenue that could be derived from it, because you can get people to sponsor these things. There's advertising slots on the side of it where you necessarily, if you don't want to put the village logo, maybe a company or a store or somebody wants to sponsor that at an event or things like that. So there's a nice little tie-ins with that. So yeah, you were right, I didn't mention that, forgot about it, sorry. But that is going to be supplied to the village. And the value of those are, well, they're roughly $4,000, that's about $8,000 worth. They require no plug-ins, they run, it's a little motorcycle battery that runs them. They don't need direct sunlight, just ambient light. As a matter of fact, I've got a demonstrator, which some of you saw at the Illinois Municipal League. I've never charged the thing. We keep it in the garage, wheel it out, and bring it into buildings and stuff like that, and it runs fine. So, but it's quite the next step. It's quite the next step in reducing the carbon footprint, the whole sustainability the green program. So the village will get a couple of those too initially. And all the other things I didn't mention, obviously the scholarship fund and all that kind of stuff. And like I did, we're involved with that, the red, white, and blue, the barbecue, all that kind of stuff. We support all the containers and things like that for that. So there's some extra dollars there. But you know what it is? When you service the community, I mean, hopefully we've become and are a good business partner, but after a certain tenure like this, you become and want to be actually a good neighbor too also. And you become part of it, and you know everybody personally, and everything seems to work real well. And we appreciate that too.
The one thing I would like to say is I want to compliment you on the amount of work that you put in on this too, because I know that we pretty well run you ragged in this go-around in getting answers to our questions that we had, and probably more so myself than others. You and I have talked a lot, but I just want to commend you on the work that you've done in getting us the information and the capability of doing what it is that we're getting ready to do.
Well, that's my job. Appreciate it. And if you don't squeeze, I mean, you got to squeeze a little bit to get some results, and fine, I get the results for you, and that's what it takes. So, but
I think that's the other thing the public needs to know, that as a vendor, you are more than willing to work with this village, and I think that's deeply appreciated.
Absolutely, appreciate it. Thank you.
And the service provided has been
Excellent.
Yep.
always.
It's great service,
that-
I agree with you.
Any other questions? Okay.
More questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
coming in.
Okay.
Okay, moving right along, finance ordinance number 20.
Waive the reading.
Request to waive the reading. Purchase orders. Questions on purchase orders?
Nope. Nope.
Anything else to come before the board at this time?
Nope.
I would request an executive session
So moved. Emery?
regarding personnel. Got a motion?
I've got, you were the second, thank you. Got it.
Roll call on executive session.
Trustee Emery? Yes. Trustee Forsley?
Yes.
Trustee Scott?
Yes.
Trustee Fleming?
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow?
Yes.
Trustee Sinek?
Yes.
We are adjourned to executive session.